Ever feel lost from the second you hit record? Let me show you how simple planning can help take you from chaos to smooth sailing once you hit that record button. I wanted to start the video out that way because for the second day in a row, I started recording, looked down the camera, and saw a yellow light illuminated where it's supposed to be red. Which means I once again forgot to put my card back in my camera, my SD card back in my camera. You know, when you're on vacation and trying to do so many different things and make everybody happy, but still be relatively effective, it can be a bit of a challenge. It can be a bit of a challenge to juggle everything. And, you know, I don't want to, just because I'm doing something that I'm focused on, I don't want to ruin anyone else's. So during all this, you know, what I'm doing is important, but it's kind of hard for others to see that. You know, and you got the Drakester who's 2.5, and they're back at the room now, so they're sleeping. So I try to do my recordings during downtime and kind of fit them in just so I can enjoy the trip, enjoy the experience, enjoy the family time, but still get a little something done and not get too far behind. So yesterday we had our Gary Vee call. At this point, I've already posted the video that they have requested that we post for this week, and that is an origin story video where I just kind of talked about my origin, where I came from, which was Muncie, Indiana, kind of my story. If you want to see that, it aired Friday. But, you know, it went pretty well. His thesis behind this is that you guys not only need to add, and when I say you guys, I'm talking about the people that are participating in the stand challenge. You not only need to add products to your stand store, whether that be digital products, coaching, seminars, whatever, but you also need to create a relationship with your audience. And the only way to do that is to get them to get to know you better. And the best way to do that is to show them everything. You know, to show them what you're about, who you are, and what you're trying to accomplish. And that's what the origin story did. So, posted that. I feel good about it. It's good because as we follow this journey, if you're here for the 365 post challenge, which I'm on post 32 already, which is amazing, which means that already, if I was just posting once a week, I would be halfway through the year, beyond. And it also means that next month, I'll be hitting my 52 post mark, which will equate to a year. Basically, by posting 365 days or in a row, I'm posting 6-7 years worth of YouTube videos in 1 year. So if I was going once a week, that's 7 years worth of video. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I can tell my pacing's a little better. My videos are getting a little better. They're not perfect. I think overall I'm at 46. So in 6 videos, I'll be at my 50-second video, which is kind of a big milestone because, you know, they say if you stick to it for 100 videos, then, you know, you're probably not going to give up. There's zero chance that I'm going to give up, so I'm not worried about that. And I'm not focused on subscribers. I'm watching the number, and I'm doing things that I need to do, that I should do to get my subscribers up, because it's an important number. But I'm more really trying to provide value, as well as provide quality content. And, you know, juggle that with trying to keep attention and everything else. You know, VidIQ says one thing, Gary Vee says another. I mean, so Gary Vee is like all these people saying that you have to focus the niche down and stuff are wrong. And then VidIQ is like, you need to focus down and niche down and only talk about certain topics because it confuses the algorithm. So I decided, because it's the perfect time to do a test like this, we're going to test Gary Vee's theory. And so on my new opening and trailer and ending, you're going to see a lot of how we're going to do that, with the 365 challenge, with the different types of topics on this channel. This channel is capturing Chris. Now, if you want just not the stories, not the personal stories, just the information, then capturing YT, which stands for capturing YouTube, is probably the channel that you need to subscribe to. And by the time I post this, it will be live. And then if you're here for photography tips, travel tips, things like that, then capturing the journey is where, and you don't want the personal stories and you don't want the other stuff. You don't want to know how to grow YouTube. Then capturing the journey is going to be where you might want to land. But if you enjoy the personal stories, and some people do, some people don't, and if you like the variety, then you're exactly where you need to be. And that's kind of Gary's theme, is that YouTube will find the people to send to your content. You just focus on making quality content. So we're going to test that. I think it's correct, but we're also going to test the VidIQ way by testing these videos as I spit. By testing these videos here on Capturing Chris, and if they perform well, we'll repurpose them for capturing YouTube or capturing the journey. And if they don't, we'll change them to make them better, and then we'll go from there. So I'm in Orlando. This is the problem with Central Florida. After you get away from the coast, it can be quite foggy. It's like 8 a.m. and it is so foggy out and humid. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's October 21st or 22nd, and it is still feels like a rainforest out here, especially with these clouds down. And I'm hoping, I think on this video, I'm gonna have to really throw this thing into the Adobe Sound Enhance, because these cars are pretty loud. But again, we can't always choose where we're gonna do things. And I had a choice. I could stay around the hotel. I like to be moving. So, and give you guys a little bit of something to look at. Other than just my bruised and battered face. On the good side, the face is looking better. So, but back to the main topic that I kind of talked about in the beginning of the video. Having these procedures and guidelines in place, if I was home, I would, when I got in from my walk, I would take the SD card out of my camera, put it into the computer through a card reader, download it. When I was done, I would then put that SD card back in the camera and then go charge the camera. That way I know my camera's gonna be fully charged, and I know there's an SD card in the camera. Now, some people like to turn off this red light on the camera. I don't, because one, it lets people know I'm recording and not to bother me. Even though I'll always say hi, I just can't be not friendly. And it fascinates me, the different types of people, especially in Orlando. It's such an international destination. So I would never want to not say hello. But at least when they see the red blinking light, they know, hey, something's going on here. They don't know what it is, but it's there. So without that light, I would not have known. I would have been recording on the camera and not known that I didn't have a card in there. Normally, I would check the upper left-hand corner of the camera. It's a 360 X5. It would tell me how many minutes I have. For whatever reason, I didn't do that today. So that happens when I'm tired. I'm having some struggles with Content 360. I was glad that I still had. That's an interesting. I was glad that I still had the Social Bee free subscription. The hotel, it's a Holiday Inn, and it's a family-friendly hotel, not really business geared. So they're throttling down my internet, and because of that, I think the Content 360 is not working right. So I hope that's the case, because I want it to be a solution for me. It's such a more economical thing to use rather than the Social Bee at $25 a month. But I need to get some shorts out because it helps my channel grow. So I'm doing some get to know me content. We'll probably do the jab, 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 right hook thing that Gary recommends, where we value, get to know me, and then ask. So you do the same, you follow that same procedure or framework, whether you're doing shorts or YouTube. YouTube, you kind of follow that procedure inside the video, or you kind of decide how you're going to do it. It's a little different. There's so many different ways. But for most of you guys that are watching this, most of you, for the ones that are watching it that are just trying to hit that record button, that's the biggest problem. That half-hour call was trying to get people to put stuff in the stand store and put their link in their social media page and just do the basic sales 101 stuff that you need to do to sell a product. It's insane. I guess I underestimated how many people don't understand sales. So if that's you, I do understand sales. So hit me with a comment in the description. Let me know if there's a topic you want me to go over, if you're struggling with how to set up a sales strategy, or how to even start hitting record on your YouTube. Once you do it, the first one's the hardest, gets easier after that. Even in the Stand Store Challenge video where he's coaching us, he's like, look at these comments. After 10, they were no longer afraid of the camera. And, so your first 10, everyone's first 10 are going to be bad. He emphasized that. Everybody's first 10 videos are going to be bad. Mine were not great. They're there. I kept them up because I'm not ashamed of them. I kind of wear them as a badge of honor. I want you guys to see the progress. That's what this channel is all about. Progress and what works, what doesn't. So I want you guys to see that. It's very important to me. And then I want to test his theory that it's no longer social media, it's interest media. I'm all in on that one. I believe it. I'm not sure many people are all in. I think the ones that are in it and actually doing it have found that to be true. So we'll see. We'll check the results, and then we'll compare the results to the other channel. It might be that both work. So one of his big things is that to be successful, give me a second, I don't want to get poison ivy here. To be successful, you need to fall in love with the word and dismiss the word or. And I'm buying into that too. So, should you do this or that? And the question is, no, do both. One, it's free. All it takes is your time. Two, you'll gain insight and experience by doing it. It's not like, if you're just starting, it's not like you don't need to practice. I need to practice. I still, I play these stupid videos back to ChatGPT, and he's like, yeah, your cadence is just not great. It gives me an 8, which, is better than a 7, but I want to be a 9. So I'm trying to improve on my videos and trying to improve on my cadence. And that is hard. I don't know what else to do. And then I go back and I look, and every time I stop the frame, I'm like in deep thought and I'm not smiling. So today I'm making an effort to smile more. And I smile all the time. So it's very frustrating to me. But this is kind of nice. Wow, this used to be a house or something back here. There was a platform back there, but I'm just kind of exploring a road off the beaten path here. This is what Middle Florida looks like. So the bugs aren't too bad right now, which is kind of a bonus. And it's been so dry here. Normally, all this stuff would be very, very wet. You see some deer trail here. So in March, we're surrounded by swamp. In March, you could come up and come upon an alligator's nest. That would not, they call it a den. That would not be good. They're good until you mess with their den. Then you might be in a little bit of trouble. So just beware, be cautious. But yeah, this is a swampy area. This is like a big waterway here in Central Florida. It's huge. You look at it on a map, it's big. So fall in love with and. Maybe they're going to put houses back here. These are steak. Interesting. Oh, nonetheless. Fall in love with and implement it. Do both and test it. All you can do is test and learn. And then that's the same way, that's what you're going to do if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel to monetize it, which I highly suggest. There's a little rabbit up there. I highly suggest if you're doing that, then you need to have some digital products. And Stand Store is truly the best place to do that. They have the infrastructure set up. They have the teams ready to help you. And they also truly care. I mean, you can feel that. Oh, it leads to a tower. Stand Store, highly recommend. I've not been unhappy with it. It's really helped me build my online business. I haven't sold anything yet, but they have sold 400 out of 3,400 people participating in this thing. Maybe it's 3,500. They sold $450,000 worth of stuff, close to $500,000 in 2 weeks. It's insane. So I hear that and I think, well, wow, there's a lot of opportunity here and I need to get myself going. Others hear that and they kind of hear 500,000, I haven't sold anything, I must really suck. You don't suck. You just aren't there yet. You're learning. You don't always become an expert overnight. You're not a savant. You have to try it. You have to experience it. The only way to learn is by living it. That's going to be your most valuable lessons, the ones you live. And so hopefully by the end of the 8 weeks, I will have sold $555 worth of stuff. And I'm qualified for the contest. Now, I could have cheated. I could have sent my photography invoices through the Stand Store, but I didn't want to do that because I want this to be based on how I made my Stand Store successful, not how I made my current business successful. Got a photo shoot Thursday, had one Sunday. So things are picking up real estate wise. So that's kind of nice, but still super focused on this stand challenge and trying to get the YouTube channel going. So we're going to have all that stuff. The policies and procedures are going to be the same for each one. You know, do the footage, download it into the computer. If you're using a 360 camera, make that flat and find the best angles. Put that into CapCut. If you're using a regular camera, put that footage into CapCut. Add your B-roll, add the relevant pictures, export it out of CapCut, listen to the sound. If you need to get better sound, send it to Adobe, Sound Enhance, post it to YouTube, let VidIQcould look at it, see what it says. Also, then go into Opus Clips, create your shorts, take the shorts from Opus Clips. You gotta download them into your computer because they're only good for like 7 days. You know, they don't have the bandwidth to be able to store all this data. I don't blame them. It's important to you. You gotta download them. So download them. Remember the title. If I were you, as you're doing that on Opus Clips, I have a little hack that I do. I schedule it. I hit schedule a posting. It'll give me a description as well as a title, and then I just don't do it. So I use it that way, and it doesn't cost me like 5 credits. Those credits are valuable, man. I've only got 3,600 of them, which is only 300 a month. And if you're doing 30 clips, you're gonna run out. So that's how I do it. But you have to do it, you know, in a formatted way. You have to follow the same procedure each time, or you're gonna lose track of where you're at. So don't think of this as a hobby. If you're doing it as a hobby, that's fine. And if you just want to start posting as a hobby, that's one thing. I'm talking to the people that are thinking about this as an extra income stream, as a side hustle, as a main form of income. If that's what you're trying to do, then you need to treat it as a job, not a hobby. So you need to dedicate time to it. And I'm sure if that's the case, you know that, and it's not a challenge for you. It's not a challenge for you to do so because you're doing something you love and you're interested in. And if you're just doing it as a job, I'm not the person for you. There are other creators out there that they know how to help you excel. I do not. I'm more for the people that really believe in what they're doing, really have a high interest in what they're doing. There's nothing wrong with just doing it as a job. Nothing at all. It's just I don't have the knowledge or skill set to help you with that if you don't have the passion for it. So, but following these procedures and guidelines will help you accomplish this goal. And then, so you get all that together, you then post it. You post your long videos to YouTube. Now you can do that yourself. You don't need Social Bee or something or 360 content unless you just want to. I like to do it myself because you can't put hashtags in a third-party posting to YouTube. And then the shorts, I use the scheduler. So do both those things. Make sure you run your descriptions and titles and thumbnails through chat GPT minimally. And for a bonus, you can use VidIQcoud. Post that to your YouTube channel, then go back and take the content you created for your shorts and put those in a schedule and repurpose those. You can send it out more than once or twice and then sit back and watch. Look at the videos that do the best, and then you can decide if you have digital products that you want to sell, or if you have a message that you want to get out and advertising would work for you, then spend $3 to $5 on an ad targeting your audience and see how it does. But only do that after you understand what videos are working and what videos aren't. Because you don't want to waste your money. You want to do it on the right videos. So, and if you do it on the right videos, it's going to help you grow. And, you know, for the longest time, it took me 2 months to realize that I needed to use YouTube Shorts. You know, There are so many different pieces of information about how to do YouTube correctly. I never really took shorts seriously until YouTube sent me a message and said, hey, if you want to grow your channel, I highly advise you doing some shorts. I always thought that YouTube didn't want me doing shorts. So they do. They want you to do whatever is going to make viewers interested in your content. And by doing these shorts, your following base is going to go up, and you're going to get even more practice on editing and things like that. Now, throwing it in the Opus clips, technically it's editing, and you still need to decide which ones to use, but it's pretty simple. I mean, I'll do that all day if editing is just loading the video and clicking a button and then deciding which ones are best from the ranking that it gives. And what I'm finding is, no matter what ranking they give, the short ones I send out as long as it's above 70. Because the short ones are the ones that a lot of people watch. When I say short, I'm talking about 30, 15, 20 seconds. I don't have many of those, so I'm trying. And then you do all that. By that time, it's like dark out. And you film during the day, or do your other job, or spend time with the family. And by the end of the day, you're tired, so you're going to bed. And you wake up and do it all over again. But you're working for yourself, and you're striving to hit a goal that's important to you. So, and you're going to feel so good once you get it done. And YouTube is one of the few things that universally, the #1 way to succeed is by sticking with it. That just sounds insane. All you have to do to be successful is provide value and stick with it. Well, if you can't do that, then this opportunity is probably not for you anyway. So you got to keep that in mind too. And there is a harsh reality out there that maybe the opportunity is not for you. I would give it 3 years, but you know, it's not for everybody. It's hard. There's a lot to it. You have to be dedicated. You got to dedicate yourself. You got to believe in yourself. And you got to not listen to the people that tell you you're crazy or you're doing something stupid. And the universal advice is don't tell your friends. Now, my friends, I do crazy shit all the time, and they know I try a lot of things. So, and they're my very close friends that know me well are always very supportive. Or if they aren't, they kind of keep it to themselves. But they know that whatever I'm trying might just work. You know, there are people like that. I had an old boss like that from Italy. He would try stuff. I'd be like, there's no way this is working. But he believed in it so much. Failure just was not an option in his mind or anywhere else. And hell, if he wasn't always successful. Even when you look at it and think, oh, he's getting ready to get ripped now. He's getting ready to get yelled at now. Because, you know, the foreign language thing kind of didn't flow correctly sometimes. And he would say things that were not great, not nice. And you'd think, oh, wow, he's done it now. But people just, because he was sincere and they saw it in him, and he is a sincere person, and he does only want to help people and be successful, that overrides his often brutal message, which is amazing that as a society, we're able to make those type of judgments. And most of the time, it's accurate. Even the most harsh people that judged him, in the end, he won them over just out of tenacity. And so that kind of reminds me of the YouTube journey. You know, just keep going, keep trying, continue to work hard and provide value. Don't phone it in. If you don't feel like doing it, cut it short. You know, you're not always going to be on that day. Life happens. Believe me, I know. But you can always do something about it. And you can always find something inside you, if it's important to you, to do a good job for even a short amount of time. And your viewers and subscribers will appreciate that. And that's what it's all about, providing value and leading by example, which is what I'm trying to do. So I hope that's helpful. And I know it's a little long today, sorry. I always start these things thinking it's gonna be a short one. But if you could do me a favor, if you like this content, or I would really appreciate it if you would hit that like button. And if you want to see more of these videos, consider hitting that subscribe button. It would really help me out a lot as I continue on my YouTube growth journey to take this thing from 0 to who knows where in the next 365 days. Come back every day, be a different video every day, something for everybody. So we'll talk to you very soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.